There was one rule everyone believed. Oceans protected nations. Missile silos decided wars. Battlefields existed somewhere far away. Wars happened overseas. Wars did not arrive at your office window at 8:46 in the morning. For more than half a century, American defense planning revolved around distant threats. Bombers crossing oceans. Submarines hiding beneath waves. Armies assembling on foreign soil. The homeland was considered a sanctuary, imperfect, but fundamentally insulated. You could be attacked. But not like this. Not with civilian airliners. Not with office workers as casualties. Not in front of live cameras. Not inside the skyline itself. The United States possessed the most powerful military in human history. 11 carrier strike groups. Thousands of nuclear warheads. Global surveillance networks. Alliances spanning continents. And yet, all of that power rested on a single unspoken assumption. No enemy could meaningfully strike the American mainland without being detected, intercepted, and destroyed. That assumption becomes ash in September 2001. Because in that year, on an ordinary Tuesday morning, a small group of men armed with box cutters, airline tickets, and suicidal intent discovers a vulnerability no radar system was designed to stop. And inside one of the tallest buildings on Earth, a 33-year-old executive named Brian Clark becomes trapped above a wound that should be unsurvivable. But in 2001, one man's impossible escape will expose a terrifying truth. America's greatest battlefield is no longer overseas. It is inside its own cities. Brian Clark is not a soldier. He is not a firefighter. He is not trained for emergencies. He is a vice president at Eurobrokers, a financial firm located on the 84th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center. He arrives at work early. He grabs coffee. He checks emails. He thinks about meetings. He thinks about numbers. He thinks about deadlines. It is Tuesday, September 11, 2001. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 slams into the North Tower. But Brian does not know that yet. Inside the South Tower, the building does not shake violently. There is no obvious explosion. No alarms immediately scream danger. People glance at each other. Someone says a small plane must have gotten lost. Televisions turn on. CNN appears on office screens. Smoke pours from a hole high above the skyline. A burning skyscraper fills the screen. From Brian's window, he can see the North Tower burning. He cannot see flames yet. He cannot hear screaming. He cannot smell smoke. He believes what nearly everyone believes. The South Tower is safe. Port Authority announcements soon confirm it. A calm voice comes over the loudspeaker. The South Tower is secure. You may return to your offices. Think about what that implies. The official guidance tells thousands of people to stay. The safest place, they are told, is exactly where they are. Brian hesitates. He remembers the 1993 bombing. He remembers smoke-filling stairwells. He remembers confusion. He turns to colleagues. We should leave. Some agree. Some stay. The elevators are shut down. The only way out is down 84 floors of stairs. Brian joins a small group. They begin descending. It is slow. Crowded. Hot. People talk quietly. Some joke nervously. Some complain about meetings they will miss. No one believes they are in mortal danger. Then at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 appears out of clear blue sky. It travels roughly 590 miles per hour. It is aimed directly at Brian's building. The plane hits between floors 77 and 85. Brian is on the 84th floor. The impact is not like in movies. There is no single explosion. There is a violent lateral shove. The entire stairwell jumps sideways. The building groans. A deep, metallic roar tears through concrete. The air compresses. Then heat. Then darkness. The plane's wings shear through steel columns. Jet fuel atomizes. Fireballs roll across office space. Every exit stairwell is obliterated except one. Brian is thrown backward. He slams into a wall. The lights go out. The stairwell fills with dust so thick you cannot see your own hands. The smell is overwhelming. Burning plastic. Burning insulation. Burning human hair. People scream. People pray. People call names that receive no answer. Brian's ears ring. He tastes metal. He does not know where he is. He does not know if he is alive. The rule says, if your floor is hit by a jetliner, you die. No one survives above the impact zone. That rule is about to be broken. But first, Brian has to find the only remaining path off the 84th floor. And he does not know if it exists. Brian stands up. His legs shake. The floor is coated in debris. Ceiling tiles. Glass. Metal fragments. Pieces of office furniture. The stairwell door behind him is twisted. The handrail is bent. The walls are cracked. Smoke pushes downward. Hotter by the second. People are moving blindly. Hands reach out. Someone grabs Brian's sleeve. Help me. He does not know who said it. He does not know where they went. He forces himself to breathe. Slow. Shallow. Every breath feels like sandpaper. Someone shouts. There's fire down there. Another voice answers. There's nothing up here. You are trapped between two impossibilities. Above you, flames, heat, structural collapse. Below you, a stairwell that may not exist. Brian remembers something. He remembers hearing there are multiple stairwells. 3 in each tower. He remembers that if one is blocked, another might survive. He starts moving laterally through the 84th floor office space. There is no open floor anymore. Cubicles are crushed. Desks are overturned. Walls are missing. Sprinklers spray water that instantly turns to steam. He steps over a body. He does not stop. He cannot look. The smoke thickens. He crawls. His hands scrape glass. He feels blood but ignores it. He finds a door. Stairwell A. He pulls. It does not move. He tries another. Stairwell B. The door is warped. He shoulder checks it. Nothing. He finds a third door. Stairwell C. He pulls. It opens. Inside is darkness. But he feels air moving. That means the shaft is open. That means the stairs exist. Brian stumbles inside. A small group is already there. Maybe 15 people. They stare at each other. Soot-covered faces. Eyes wide. No one speaks. They begin descending. Step by step. 1 foot at a time. The stairs are narrow. Roughly 4 to 4 inches wide. Concrete. Metal handrails. Emergency lights flicker. Every few floors, someone collapses. They pull each other up. No one is strong. Everyone is stubborn. The temperature rises as they descend. Because fire is below them too. Fuel has poured downward through elevator shafts. Burning debris rains into lower floors. On the 78th floor, they encounter a wall of smoke so thick it feels solid. People hesitate. Brian pushes forward. He presses his face against the concrete wall where air is slightly cooler. He shuffles sideways. He feels someone collapse against his back. He drags them. He does not know their name. He only knows they are alive. A firefighter appears. Covered in soot. Mask on. Air tank strapped to his back. He is climbing up. Think about that. While everyone else moves down, he is moving toward the fire. The firefighter shouts. There is one stairwell that goes through. This one. Keep moving. Do not stop. Those words change everything. Because now Brian knows. Escape is physically possible. Not likely. Not safe. But possible. They continue. 70 floors. 60 floors. People begin removing shoes because their feet blister. Hands slide along railings slick with condensation. The building creaks. Low-frequency groans ripple through concrete. Every sound feels like a countdown. At around the 40th floor, a woman screams. The building's coming down. Someone yells back. Keep moving. Brian's lungs burn. He starts coughing uncontrollably. He leans against the wall. His vision tunnels. Failure feels close. Very close. Then something changes. The air becomes cooler. Not cool. But survivable. The smoke thins slightly. They pass firefighters going up. Dozens. Hundreds. Each one carrying 50 to 60 pounds of gear. Some make eye contact. Some do not. No one turns around. Brian realizes something. Most of these men and women will die. He does not know how he knows. He just knows. They reach the 30th floor. Then the 20th. Then the 10th. The stairwell vibrates. A deep boom echoes from above. Not a collapse. Not yet. Something structural. Concrete dust trickles down like snow. People start running. They should not run. The stairs are slippery. People fall. Others step over them. There is no cruelty. There is no kindness. There is only motion. At the lobby level, glass doors are shattered. Daylight pours in. Firefighters are screaming. Go. 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 Brian bursts outside. The south tower looms overhead. Flames pour from the impact zone. Bodies fall. Not debris. Human beings. You hear the sound before you register what it is. A sickening thud. Over and over. Brian runs. He does not look back. He runs several hundred yards. He reaches Church Street. He turns around. At 9:59 a.m., the south tower collapses. The top of the building begins to tilt. The entire structure disintegrates. 30 stories become 20. 20 become 10. Then everything becomes a gray wall. A cloud races outward at highway speed. It devours streets that it swallows cars that it erases daylight. Brian dives into a doorway. The dust hits like a tidal wave, total darkness, silence, then distant screaming. Brian is alive. Out of roughly 1,400 people at or above the impact zone in the South Tower, only 18 escape. 18. Brian Clark is one of them. If you find this kind of untold history as fascinating as we do, would be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. We believe these stories of courage and survival deserve to be told. And by subscribing, you help us ensure they aren't forgotten. What Brian does not know is that his survival will become a data point that changes emergency doctrine worldwide. Because before September 11th, skyscraper evacuation models assume one simple truth. If you are above the impact zone, rescue is impossible. September the 11th proves that assumption wrong. Point 1. Intact stairwell. That is all it takes. Engineers will later study the South Tower structural layout. They will identify why stairwell C survived. Slight differences in placement. Slightly thicker surrounding columns. Minor variations that translate into life or death. Building codes across the world begin to change. Additional stairwells, wider stairwells, hardened stairwell enclosures, pressurized shafts, redundant evacuation routes. On the strategic level, the United States abandons the belief that geography equals safety. The Department of Homeland Security is created. Airport security is federalized. Cockpit doors become armored. Intelligence agencies restructure around counterterrorism. Point 2. Wars follow. Afghanistan, Iraq, not because of what Brian did but because of what that morning revealed: that a handful of extremists, operating on a budget smaller than a Hollywood movie, inflicted more casualties on American soil than any foreign military attack in history. Nearly 3,000 dead, thousands more injured. That an entire generation psychologically scarred. Attack that it was a proof of concept. A demonstration that modern societies could be strategically wounded without armies, tanks, or fleets. The battlefield had permanently shifted, and inside that shift, stories like Brian Clark's quietly rewrote what survival meant. Brian Clark returns to the ruins weeks later. He searches for co-workers, friends, names he called out in the stairwell. Most never answer again. He carries survivor's guilt for years. He gives testimony. He speaks to engineers. He tells students. He tells firefighters' families what he saw. He does not call himself a hero. He says he followed others. He says people helped each other. He says luck played a role. But luck alone does not walk down 84 flights of stairs through fire and smoke. Human will does. To this day, Brian Clark remains one of only 18 people known to have escaped from above the South Tower impact zone. 18 out of 1,400. And behind every one of those survivors stand hundreds of first responders who climbed upward and never came back. 343 FDNY firefighters. 23 NYPD officers. 37 Port Authority officers. Men and women with names, with families, with hometowns. They did not fight a foreign army. They did not face a visible enemy. They fought heat, smoke, gravity, and time. This story matters now because the world still feels stable right up until the moment it isn't. Because preparedness is written in details. Because courage often looks like simply taking the next step downward when everything tells you it is hopeless. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or state, and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Brian Clark and the 18 survivors of the South Tower do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.